I have called this principle, by which each slight variation, if useful, is preserved, by the term of natural selection. The highest possible stage in moral culture is when we recognize that we ought to control our thoughts. The mystery of the beginning of all things is insoluble by us, and I for one must be content to remain an agnostic. We must, however, acknowledge, as it seems to me, that man with all his noble qualities, still bears in his bodily frame the indelible stamp of his lowly origin. My mind seems to have become a kind of machine for grinding general laws out of large collections of facts. On the ordinary view of each species having been independently created, we gain no scientific explanation. A moral being is one who is capable of reflecting on his past actions and their motives, of approving of some and disapproving of others. What a book a devil's chaplain might write on the clumsy, wasteful, blundering, low, and horribly cruel work of nature. If the misery of the poor be caused not by the laws of nature, but by our institutions, great is our sin. Why does man regret, even though he may endeavor to banish any such regret, that he has followed the one natural impulse, rather than the other, and why does he further feel that he ought to regret his conduct? Man in this respect differs profoundly from the lower animals. It is certain that there may be extraordinary mental activity with an extremely small absolute mass of nervous matter. Thus the wonderfully diversified instincts, mental powers, and affections of ants are notorious, yet their cerebral ganglia are not so large as the quarter of a small pin's head. Under this point of view, the brain of an ant is one of the most marvelous atoms of matter in the world, perhaps more so than the brain of a man. After 5 years' work I allowed myself to speculate on the subject, and drew up some short notes. These I enlarged in 1844 into a sketch of the conclusions, which then seemed to me probable. From that period to the present day I have steadily pursued the same object. I hope that I may be excused for entering on these personal details, as I give them to show that I have not been hasty in coming to a decision. There is no fundamental difference between man and the higher mammals in their mental faculties. The difference in mind between man and the higher animals, great as it is, certainly is one of degree and not of kind. This preservation of favorable variations and the destruction of injurious variations, I call natural selection, or the survival of the fittest. Variations neither useful nor injurious would not be affected by natural selection and would be left a fluctuating element. Looking to future generations, there is no cause to fear that the social instincts will grow weaker. The social instincts, the prime principle of man's moral constitution, with the aid of active intellectual powers and the effects of habit, naturally lead to the golden rule, as ye would that men should do to you, do ye to them likewise, and this lies at the foundation of morality.